welcome to Travelogue. I'm your host Yan Ling, bringing you to a place that's simply fantastical, Italia. Italy is not only a country, it has been mystified into a concept of ideal lifestyle. Its people, known for its creativity and passion, has created a country that simply fascinates the world. Tribute to Italian Year in China 206, in spirit of Marco Polo, if I may say, it's time for us to repay the visit. The first chapter is, of course, Roma. The eternal city's charm is easier to experience than it is to describe. A geographical focal point of Western civilization of last 2 millenniums, grown unstopped since the days when it was capital of the Roman Empire, the city exemplifies a real myth of eternal city. For visitors fascinated by the glories of ancient empire, the city is an unexpectedly open history book, a living museum, where the past is still breathing in the present. For visitors who learned Roma's landmarks mostly through literature and movies, the city is a reassurance that real life and imagination can converge. Even for the most ambitious visitors, numerous historic and artistic must-sees can be overwhelming at times. But like anywhere else, Rome's charm reveals itself more readily to someone who is prepared to discover it at his own pace. After all, this is a city for those who are not in a hurry. Try starting with appreciating the most present details, like its sunlight, in an aromatic shade of orange trees and umbrella pine that's typical of the city. If you like good weather, Roma is a perfect place. This eternal city, it's eternal sunshine city. Rome's light was praised by poets like Goethe as never-ending delight. It's obviously also inspired some modern curators. Maybe only in Rome we can find this kind of fusion museum. So besides marvel, the masterpiece of ancient Romans, I'm really impressed by the modern Roman curators' creativity. Because most of the time, it's not what you see that's important, but how you see it. Look at this. If you're looking to find art, not crowds, come to this newly opened section of City's museum, enjoying just a small taste and an antipasto of Rome's great treasures in a rather special setting. Rome's first electronic power plant was tastefully transformed into a lofty space, housing some most refined art pieces dated since pre-Roman time. Grande, such a great city. City of romance, city with history, city of art, city of all kinds of pleasure you can ever imagine. Like Roman says, non basta una vita. One life is not enough. So see Roma living as Romans see it. No day is better than today. Time, be it that of history or that of everyday life, has a particular quality here. Living in Roma, a city just has seen it all. Romans really know the art to attach to the past to living today. So try to do as Romans do, taking the most of your countable sweet time in this eternal city at your own pace. Then the city was ready to reveal it as an endless source of surprises. If you want to be at the heart of things in the very center of the city, squares are always the best spot to feel the city's charm. Come to Rome, of course, besides marvel or the grandeur, you have to also find time for yourself to peek into the daily life of Roman people. And this is a perfect place. It's called Campo de Fiori in Old Town. Look at the colors here. No wonder, Campo de Fiori originally meant flower market, now also famous with enticing displays of variety of fresh food and a vivid slice of local flavors. Restaurants and cafes around the Campo de Fiori area attract many Roman bohemian bourgeoisies with old-time charm and New World chic. Breva is a Roman institution. There are usually two kinds of look on the face of people who walks in. One group of admiration and hope. They are recommendation by locals and guidebooks like me. The other group with at-home ease and determination. They usually know exactly what they want. So these are all private collections?
Yes, they are.
So they put their name on the top of the bottle?
Not the bottle. On this box, we just write the first name, Massimo Francesco.
Exclusiveness is also granted to the first-time patrons. Any waiter here cannot bear the thought that you don't taste and test the best from the best. Of course, from the wine bar's own celebrated collection. Tasting wines like tasting Roma. You have the good stuff, you still need a good mood, and also allow yourself to take it easy. Give yourself some time, enjoy. Italians find most occasions for a savory moment, with lunch, with dinner, and some time in between, as a part of a meal, a nice company for a nice conversation, something to savor than to splash. A half glass of Tuscany Chianti certainly helps a lot to break the language barrier, especially if you're a lady tourist. Here in Italy, you're very much likely to be treated like one. It doesn't take long until you remember that Roma spelling backward is, yes, the romantic word, amor. Surrounded and nurtured by beauty for centuries, it's only natural that lucky Italians got eyes, hands, and mind for an impeccable sense of style. Italian style stands out with a blend of skillful handcraftsmanship and creative, even emotional design. There's no better example of heritage and renovation than couture.
So the concept of couture is basically the unicity of the piece. It's one dress for one woman, period. It's the possibility of bringing to reality a women's dream. So it's a matter of secrets on the handmade. We keep many secrets on how do we build a woman to become what she wants to be, or what's her dream life.
For ladies who are in love with high fashion, this is the ultimate realization of dreams. For ladies and gentlemen who fancy the opulent lifestyle on the same league in motion, this is the Mecca. Italy became the country of creative arts?
Because the whole country is very creative. So you can see this in architecture, you can see this in fashion, you can see this throughout the history of this country. It's a very remarkable country. And so also cars, it's due to the intuition of people, are creative.
Rome is a city that's more content to stay the way it was than eagerly becoming what it is not. Graced by beauty for centuries, the city continuously affirms its love of beauty and creativity in all forms. The Biglione Hotel Roma's gracious lobby has been an artist's salon venue since last century. Today, it remains a magnet for known and upcoming artists. Where have you been?
I've been in many places around the world. For example, in Iceland, Patagonia, India, Morocco.
So all exotic places?
Yes.
So when China?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
In the near future?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, cheers. So maybe the content of exhibition has been changed over the years, but the salon-like ancient classic art atmosphere obviously still remains. Umbria has got two appellations, Italy's Holy Land and Italy's Green Heart. Art and nature, landscape and culture, town and countryside appear in Umbria in perfect harmony. That's what my friend, a Rome-born industry designer, say about his newly found home.
Questo è il mio laboratorio dove realizzo le mie idee.
Realize your idea.
Yeah.
Your dream come true. Modern Italian industry design found ultimate means of materializing imagination through high tech, and also, of course, charged with human emotion.
Together.
Perfect combination.
Un posto ci sarà per questa solitudine, perché mi sento così inutile.
Maybe you can really eat the cake and keep the cake. The exquisite fusion between suburbia and peasant living is really achieved perfectly here. The center town Todi started to take shape as early as 5th century and flourished during medieval time. Like most Umbria's medieval towns, named after the poet and friar Jacopone di Todi. The bordering towns are equally charming. Like Monte Castello di Vebbio is host to a theater in world class, well, also known as the smallest theater in the world. Theater of Concordia was built during the last years of 1700s and the first of 1800s, opened in 1808. A theater inherited a great tradition that opened for free to town citizens and nearby farmers. The rooms are decorated with frescoes by a famous painter, Luigi Agretti, in 1892. Culture is not a privilege of the rich and famous in Italy. It's pretty much popularized. Look at this little medieval town. Even the farmers in this little town have the right to come here, enjoy the show, sometimes even perform there. The seats are limited though. There are only 99 chairs here. the self-imposed modesty in an inbred trade among Umbrians. That might explain the relative obscurity of this beautiful region. Thanks to the Roman friend's recommendation, I discovered this wonderful holiday resort. Italy is known as a haven for wine and dine tourists. In Umbria particularly, food is a tradition and an art, handed down from generations.
Si potrebbe andare tutti quanti allo zoo comunale, vengo anch'io, no, per vedere come stanno le bestie feroci e gridare aiuto, aiuto, è scappato il leone.
Handmade pasta with fresh truffle from Umbria, done with such love and care in a grandma's kitchen, plus a skillful personal helper's work. What do you get? The wines, the olive oil, the valuable trophies, the cheese, the sausage. There are too many to choose as Umbria's specialty. I called for some help.
We got the porcini sauce, it's a black truffle sauce, and what is it? Yes, olives. In Umbria, you got the bread without salt. It's an historic reason. During the medieval century, there was a tax of salt, so the salt was expensive. So, starting from that time, there was no salt in the bread.
And you have to eat all this with a good glass of wine. From Umbria, of course. Cheers.
Seguir con gli occhi un airone sopra il fiume e poi ritrovarsi a volare e sdraiarsi felice sopra l'erba ad ascoltare.
Spa was a Roman concept originally. Literally means water makes wonders.
E di notte passare con lo sguardo la collina per scoprire dove.
Colorful mask blended with local thermal water promises to revitalize the skin and all senses. Looking for a sanctuary for peace and contemplation, this is a place to stop for a while. The more time I spend here, the more impressed I am by the wealth of art, history, and culture this country has contributed to the world. The epicenter, the rest of Italy may not totally agree, is here, northern part, Milano. Lombardy region is the driving horse behind Italy's economical miracle during the 60s and 70s. Its capital, Milan, with its wells and worldliness, glitz and glamour, always walks a step ahead of the rest of the country. Looking for a well-balanced commercial and cultural tour, finding out the newest trend in media, design, and fashion, this is a stop. Want to be a smart tourist but not look like one? You have all your choices, only if you have enough time. Feel it burning just for you. This love divine is taking me to somewhere new. Just fly. Get your body down, 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 and glide. I gotta see you all around. Boy, you got me wanting. Trying to catch up the Milan chick or only seeing it all over all the time can be energy consuming. What do you need? The best coffee always tastes better with some chit-chat with your barista, and best when topped with some irresistible Italian pastries. If pleasure is a science itself, Italy is a place you should attend the university of it. Every kind of enjoyment, coffee, cheese, wine, you have to learn to enjoy it. Learning about wine, there's no better way than taking a closer look in any one of the wineries throughout the country. I visited the Franciacorta region. That's famous for his sparkling wine, spumante, Italian equivalents to champagne.
My mother's family is in this area since 1,000 years.
1,000 years?
1,000. Maybe 100 more.
Wow, impressive. The art of making fine wine has been perfected for generations here. Profession in Italy seems to be seen as a torch of heritage and tradition. People do it with respect and sense of responsibility that hopefully also pass on to the next generation. Like sparkling wine brought Glizzy Wells to Brescia, Parmesan cheese make the small town of Parma worldly renowned. Partigiano cheese is still produced here as it was 9 centuries ago, of course owned by the same family. It's still done with the same ingredients, same processing technique, same artisan care. I learned one of the most labor-intensive work, which is also oddly important. That's a sounding check. Each wheel of cheese here has to be tested the same way, one by one, before qualified as Parmesan cheese. This is a bank of cheese. Old money, new money, or good money. Where the Lombardy plains rise into the Alps, the countryside is inlaid with a series of stunning blue lakes. So the region is also known as Region of Lakes. Among them, Lake Como is arguably the most beautiful, undoubtedly the most famous. Lying in the Del Desso Peninsula on the west bank of Lake Como, this villa is not only stunningly beautiful, but also legendary. It has charmed George Lucas so much that he staged a Star Wars movie scene here. The last owner of this garden villa was one of the first 3 Italians that conquered Everest. When he passed away in 1988, he also left the entire property to a public foundation, so the villa now opens to the public. From Winston Churchill to today's Hollywood mega stars, the celebrity intensity in the lake area makes Lake Como synonymous to exclusive summer resort in world class. Now, of course, also a favorite, apparently, wedding destination. this one is also George Clooney's villa.
Yeah.
Wow.
He bought this one 2 years ago, and now a little bridge. It will start from the old villa to the garden of the new one.
Wow.
And this one is a public beach, so the next year when you come back on Lake of Como, you can stay on the beach of George Clooney's house. Okay.
Ciao, George. Next time.
Next time.
Stop for tea.